Knowing the terms of volume profile is one thing, but how do you actually trade with it? In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to use volume profile for your entries, your stop loss, and your take profit. Let's start with a quick recap of the first episode. Alright, so in the first episode, we went over the important concepts of volume profile. So we mentioned how this is the value area high, this down here is the value area low, and this in the middle is the POC, the point of control. And again, point of control is going to be the price level at which fair value was marked by the participants, and they all decided, okay, that's fair value. They traded heavy at that level, and that's why that is point of control. In terms of the extremes, value area high and value area low, these tend to get sold off at and bought into. Sometimes when they're not respected, things change. Of course, price respected that value area high, so it rejected, sold off as it should, and continued to the downside. As for the value area low, it was broken, so I used it as a point of resistance. And as you can see, I actually did get in a trade here. I got in at 67.25 and out for a 1-to-1 at around 67.22. Typically I will use these levels as either a support or resistance, and if I don't use those, I will use the high volume nodes here. This high volume node tends to be a good spot to have your stops behind, since there are just so many orders at those levels. And this would be how I would use the current volume profile, so that would move along with the session. As for these levels that you can see here, previous week value area high, previous day value area high, and overnight POC, these are all the different sessions that I use the static volume profiles on. So as you can see, this static volume profile was done during the day on Tuesday, September 30th, and as for the overnight, I used the night before. So Monday, as for the overnight volume profile, I will use the Asian session all the way to until 8:30 market open, New York session market open, for my levels for those overnight levels. Now these levels do tend to be magnets, and that's what I did here on that trade that you saw earlier. I used that current volume profile as a resistance. I got in, and I used the previous week value area high level as a magnet, and I waited, and as you can see, it continued to drop, and it is continuing to drop, and it continues to use these levels. And as you can see, like I was saying, it did continue down. You could have gone for a 1-to-6, but we don't do that. We don't get greedy. We get our 1-to-1 and we get out. As you can see, I didn't take any more trades after that. I definitely set things up to see if I could get a 1-to-1 here. Obviously I could have. I just didn't take those trades because I don't want to get greedy. I want to take my base hits and get out of the market. So I did trade right now. I will trade in the morning. And the best part about trading with the volume profile is that there is always going to be a setup. Capture those trades at the point of the session where there is the most volume, so that you're not just ranging around in low volume and consolidation. I don't tend to trade off of the current POC just because of how choppy it can be. I've traded it in the past and it never really works out, so I tried to trade the extremes only. As you can see, I traded the value area low as a resistance, and I treated it that way, targeting that previous week high for my 1-to-1. It worked out. Did take some time. Not every trade is going to be a quick winner. Some things to note when trading are also stacking confluences, right? So when I do get a confluence, let's just say this value area low stacking on top of the previous week high, if those two levels were stacking on top of one another, I would take it. I would take the trade in that direction. So for instance, if this blue line here, the value area low, was actually, then I probably would have got in on this rejection here just to continue to the upside and possibly tap the POC as a magnet. There is a high volume node here, so if price did come off of this high volume, off of the previous week's value area high and tap in, I would have gotten in here for 3 points, put my stops there, and targeted a return down to the previous week's high, value area high. So it would look like this. So things to remember from episode 2 are going to be treat current value area low and value area high as support and resistance. Current POC is a magnet, as well as treating previous weeks, overnight, and previous day, value area low, value area high, and POC as targets. So this is it for episode 2. This is exactly what I use every day. These are the concepts to remember. Now in episode 3, I will go through my entire strategy, what time I trade, how I risk, which instrument I trade every day, the time frame I trade on, every little detail. So make sure you like and subscribe so that you can stay updated when I do finally release that video. And if you do want to trade these setups with me, I do have a Discord with a 3-day free trial, so you can check it out with no risk to you. Remember, don't waste any opportunity.